it fell from the sky, but I didn't report it because it could have been cocaine, and I really like cocaine again.
So you were on some kind of trip and things were falling from the sky. And
Yeah,
it was cocaine. Okay.
But what's cool? I had like my bow and arrow. I wanted to light the arrow up to say like how far could you shoot a flaming arrow? Because you don't know, and then like fire a regular arrow and then like measure it out.
Lit up being the key word in there. Somebody was lit up.
I'm just saying, if you got a flaming arrow,
3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
We are live.
Welcome, everybody, to the DynastyWiseGuys Podcast. My name is Chad. I am here with Jeff.
Hey, everybody, let's get in at TM.
And Clayton.
What's up?
So, today we are going to discuss our 2018 predictions.
I stole that from Pat.
I
love predictions, Chad.
Yes, we had all the guys at DynastyWise. There's 7 of us total. Predict everything that's going to happen this year, from awards to playoffs to the Super Bowl to top fantasy scores and whatnot. So we kind of figured we'd do a little pod here and get that information out to everybody and at least have it on record and let y'all know how good we actually are at this, or bad for some of us, I'm sure.
I love doing lists. I love doing like top 5s, top 10s. I can just sit here all day, do top 5, top 10s, or whatever.
Can too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Can you? You want
I
to?
can. It's fun.
You dumb.
That's as
Why don't you
high as
shut your
that's as
face,
high as Clayton
Amish
can go,
paradise?
Because he can only get to 5 on his one.
By the way, Clayton's here. Clayton Amish face is here.
Voila.
Been spending most our lives.
Yeah, predictions are all fun and games. You know, it's fun.
Yeah. It's fun to see how wrong we are at the end of the
Yes.
season.
Speak for yourself.
And this will put it on record. So, well, let's start with the MVP.
All right.
This year, NFL's MVP. Clayton, who do you like?
Deshaun Watson.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to do it. I think
That's fine.
I think he's going to lead them to the playoffs, and after being 4-12 last year, and where he takes them this year is going to help him get the MVP vote. And
I just want to know, can you win an MVP in 12 games played, though?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's 4 more games more than he got in last year.
I mean, they put him in the conversation after 6 last year. So, I mean,
Who's they? You and your buddies? Or
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my buddies, man.
Chad, I got to go with Todd Gurley. He's on a team where the defense is going to be supreme. They're going, even though Aaron Donald's still not in camp, I think they cleared like $7-8 million in cap room today. Mm-hmm. So they're going to sign. He's going to come in probably sooner than Khalil Mack. I don't know if Khalil Mack will play.
Khalil Mack's supposed to be getting traded. So,
but I think their defense is going to hold teams down. And I think with that, it's just going to be a chance for Gurley because they're going to be ahead like 17-7. It's like, let's just hand the ball off in the second half. And, I think that team with that young coach, I think they're probably going to look to give Gurley the rock to break that 2,000-yard, try to set some records. I think they're that type of team, plus being L.A. So I'm going to go with Todd Gurley as far as MVP goes.
And I like that pick. He'd probably be my second choice. I like the Rams' passing game a little. I think they're going to take some of the load off of him actually this year. A better defense will keep them off the field. We'll see how it goes for the Rams. They just got a lot of weapons. My pick was kind of along a similar lines in terms of the team.
Yeah.
Great defense, a lot of weapons on offense. I like Kirk Cousins. Look what he did with no receivers in Washington and an okay defense, an iffy injured running game. Now put him in Minnesota's offense with Dalvin Cook running the ball and Latavius Murray backing him up and, Adam Thielen and Kyle Rudolph and Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's got upgrade in every weapon now, and he was a top 5 quarterback numbers-wise last year. So I can only imagine what he's going to do with his team. That was 1 win away from the Super Bowl last year.
Right.
That's definitely out there on a limb. I don't think many people are picking Cousins, but that's pretty solid.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's one of those situational. Of course, you're going to have your Aaron Rodgers. I think as a whole, dynasty-wise, that was the favorite to win. Would be Aaron Rodgers. He's the only one that got more than 1 vote by anybody,
right?
In dynasty-wise, but okay. Well, so those are your MVPs. How about offensive player of the year? Go ahead, Jeff.
I didn't want to say Todd Gurley, even though I got him winning the MVP. But I think the league will go with Aaron Rodgers. Possibly comeback player of the year. That could be Deshaun Watson, comeback player of the year. But offensive player of the year, I think Rodgers, who kind of, he's got average wide receivers, but he's got a really great tight end now that they say he's really been, hooking up well. And so my pick's going to be, Jimmy Graham. Mm-hmm. I just believe that Aaron Rodgers, and that's a team where the defense is okay. So
does he come back to full health?
I think so. I think he will. I mean, he really hasn't been. He really hasn't been like injury prone or whatever. Mm-hmm. Give him that label. So I think he being 45 years old. I've watched. I can remember Bradshaw to Montana Marino. Aaron Rodgers has the best footwork as far as just shuffling in the pocket. Just take 2 steps and he's got 3 more seconds to throw the ball. He just stays in that pocket and he just shuffles around. Mm-hmm. So his line is okay. So he's going to find the open guy. And I think with their defense not being as great, although both the young cornerbacks look good, I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to put up the numbers he's going to be Offensive Player of the Year, but he won't be the MVP. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I did that is just for this podcast. Yes, you very easily say Gurley. So
you'll see them win both sometimes, but I think it's a way to kind of give it to two different positions. Mm-hmm. My personal Offensive Player of the Year is Gurley. I think he's going to be that rock, but I just think, the overall just wow him guy is going to be Cousins for me.
All right.
I think, with Gurley, first off, my take on that is I think he's going to have a pretty good year, but I don't think he's going to have the same year like everybody's expecting like he had last year. Running backs don't do that. I'm just saying that's why I would stay away from Gurley on that prediction. And then with Aaron Rodgers, you know what else the best he has of?
What?
Bank account.
Yes, he does.
That nice fat contract he just got.
Rodgers got paid, but I mean,
you like Bell.
Yeah.
That's who you picked.
Oh, I know.
Why Bell?
Because Bell's like the most consistent running back in the league year in, year out, and I just think, and he still wants that. He's still looking for his big payday.
Definitely.
Do you think he'll come back and play the first game?
I think he always does.
Yeah. He's playing. Bill.
All right.
Okay, Pat, you
producer Pat
also picked Gurley. Anything you want to add to Gurley there?
I didn't catch much conversation, but I think Gurley, I think he's still going to produce at a top level. I mean, especially from a fantasy standpoint, I honestly believe he's going to he's set up to win over there. I mean, the Rams are doing some great things both on offense and defense. I feel like, with the solid defense, the run game comes into play more than ever, but that's my only take on it. Is I feel like he's really going to be solid over there again.
Gurley's going a solid 1-2 in drafters, right, Clayton?
Yeah, he's definitely. A lot of people were saying 1-1, and the only reason I would, because I think all the usage last year and his production, it's not going to be matched this year.
Even Dynasty, is he going 1-1, 1-2? What have y'all seen?
Everything I've seen, it's been either Gurley, Elliott, or Bell.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. There's a lot of
as
Gurley,
far as the running backs
Elliott,
go.
Okay.
Hopkins, AB, Odell, receivers.
Yeah,
Jeff Janis
for sure.
Yeah, Jeff Janis definitely. He's been the most at 1-1 I've seen.
Hey, Jeff Janis may actually see a little fantasy uptick this year in Cleveland, especially with their shortage on wide receiver depth.
And once Baker
with Coleman
finally
gone.
Gets in there.
Yeah.
I don't know about this year, buddy. Okay, moving on to the defensive side of the ball. Personally, I think this is Joey Bosa's award to run away with this year. The guy came out the gates running as a rookie, built on that success last year, and I think he's going to lead that Chargers defense to winning that division this year personally, especially with more weapons added around him. But Bosa's sack numbers, I think, are just going to be outrageous this year. He's a disruptive player.
He's got a good running mate in Ingram over there for sure. I actually thought a lot about Bosa as well, but I just went the other way. I just went with Donald. I just think Donald's just on another level right now and where he's playing. And that's why I just went with him again. I was like, come on, Aaron.
I'm going Jalen Ramsey because I think the Jags are going to go deep in the playoffs again. And he's kind of, even though you got like Calais Campbell over there and you got a lot of team leaders.
He was honestly one of my picks I was wavering over was Campbell. That guy, he won it 2 years ago in Arizona before going to Jaguars.
Right.
And,
but
just
I think
like these other guys, the loaded defenses, who's the star on that defense.
Right. I just think he's the vocal leader, and so I think he gets the hype. It's kind of like Deion Sanders. He was on laughing on one show, and he said, guess who was the best cornerback in the league when I was playing. Then went Dion. He goes, nope, James Hasty on the Chiefs. Best cornerback I've ever seen. Jalen Ramsey, he's good. He's doing the hype, so he'll get the award for me, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. And
Real good.
All solid choices. Defensive, I mean, it's just they're all going to be on teams with
we can't
with
be
good
wrong.
defenses. Another guy I liked in that up there was Everson Griffin on the Minnesota Vikings.
Who
too.
the hell is that?
Very
That's a mountain.
underrated.
Everest?
Yeah, he's a mountain.
Oh, Everson, sorry.
Yeah, but another very underrated guy who is look at him to have close to 20 sacks again this year too.
Wow,
All right.
that's some bold predictions right there.
Bold.
Whoa.
I could see,
I tell you, it's prediction.
you know,
Get it, guys?
I would like to see JJ
Y'all
come
get
back to form, but I think if he did, he wouldn't win Defensive Player of the Year. They'd give him Comeback
Yeah,
Player of the
definitely.
Year.
Unless
Yeah.
he just had like a monster.
Yeah, unless
year
he
like
put
he's
up another
never had.
20 sacks or something. And I'm not saying he's going to. I'm just saying, but if he did, that's what I could see.
I don't think they're going to rely on him to have to do that.
Nope.
I mean, there's a lot of pieces around him, but I mean, I definitely think he's going to have a more JJ-like season this year.
I want to vote.
Where is he?
My
There he
defensive
is.
vote would have to be for Romeo Cornell, really, because him
D
back.
coordinator? I don't know. Old Wade Phillips with the Rams is going to have a pretty good little defense to work with this year too.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it's coming back after we got rid of Vrabel.
Are we
making him look
talking coaches
crazy.
now?
Yes.
You're right. Vrabel sucked as a defensive coordinator. I'm glad he went to Tennessee.
Yeah, he
Screw
really,
you,
really didn't impress
Cam.
me in his time here. But going back to the offensive side of the ball, let's go to the rookies.
All right.
Who do you like Rookie of the Year this year? I know it's a loaded field.
Yeah, I actually went with Royce Freeman. I know they just named Booker the starter, but I think it's going to be a committee for a while, and then you're going to see Freeman take over. They're still going to split, but Freeman's going to take over more of the lead role, a little more carries probably. Freeman can do it all, Pac-12 all-time leading rusher. And yeah, that's my pick. I like me some Royce Freeman.
I like Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him as much as another running back out there. I think Saquon Barkley was the real deal coming out of college. He's the real deal in the NFL, and I think this guy's about to go out and show why.
I think his soft tissue issue is going to linger all year with him. That's why he's missed weeks of training camp. I think it's been on and off with him, and I think it's going to linger throughout the year.
I let it linger as long as he
As in
goes out and produces.
missing games linger.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Royce Freeman will take longer to be the starter than it will be Saquon Barkley missed games.
Nah,
No.
we'll disagree on that one.
All right. Jeff?
Okay. I'm gonna go Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
He has looked phenomenal in OTAs. He has looked phenomenal in training camp. Coming out, before and during the draft, it was he may not be the absolute fastest. He's not the tallest. He maybe doesn't jump as good, but he is so crisp with his route running and football intelligence, and they have just all praised him exactly for that. In Atlanta, he's reading defenses. He's knowing where to sit down in space. Matt Ryan's able to find him. Saquon Barkley. I can definitely see that. I don't know why he's saying Royce Freeman, but I'm just messing with you.
Well, we had a question come off of Facebook. Corey was asking which rookie running back will have the most rushing yards other than Barkley. I guess he's predicting Barkley's going to
Darius Geis.
Good one.
Freeman would be my pick, but if you want, Kerryon Johnson's going to give him a good run for his month. Be up there too. I think they have a lot of opportunity.
I think there's too many other guys with Johnson there in Detroit right this minute. I think Blunt's going to get a lot of red zone touches. I think a lot of third down touches, and then you still have Theo Riddick in the passing game. They're a little crowded for me to put Kerryon as one of the top scoring running backs. You got Penny out in Seattle. He's possible. Him and Carson are probably going to split some carries.
Carson's probably ahead.
Don't be surprised if Nyheim Hines comes on strong with Indianapolis down the road.
Fumbling problem.
I've got a question because there's a bet on it that I made, and this ties
All
into
right.
fantasy. Kerryon Johnson, will he rush for 1,000 yards this year?
No.
No.
All right, me and Corey have a bet. basically he's saying he will, and I'm saying he won't. So loser has to do 1,000 push-ups in 10 days. So it's basically 100 push-ups a day.
All right.
Is the bet. So
I did that today.
Well, you did it right before the podcast.
Yeah. No.
But y'all hold me to it. If he does,
I'm
you
doing
know, I
them
need
right
witnesses
now in my
on it.
head.
But that was a
Right.
bet that we made, and
Yeah.
so and I'll hold him to it. But yeah, I wanted to ask because I know he's going in a lot of fantasy, drafts.
Is
and
it
all that stuff.
impossible for him to do it? No. Is it likely? No.
I got an answer, and this is going to shock somebody. Sony Michel.
Possible.
Because-
another guy in a crowded backfield.
But I
situation.
think
and James
injuries,
White is the guy right
I
there
think
right now.
injuries will happen. And Belichick
To Michel.
is a guy that has gone to a one-down back. So I'm going to say Sony Michel.
That's not a bad choice.
That's
either.
my hot take, my italics bold prediction.
Hot take?
Another, other rookie running backs you can throw out. That Ronald Jones hasn't won that starting
Rojo.
job in Tampa
No,
Bay.
he can't
It's
pass
Peyton
protect.
Barber's, the guy
Played
right
well.
now.
Rojo did catch some decent passes though. They have been working on his hands.
So, but I mean, those are your main guys right there. I think Chubb in Cleveland, but I don't think he's going to get a lot of touches this year.
I think they'll
so.
split with Hyde and then do Johnson on third. Yeah, I think Hyde's an. I think Chubb is just a great back, man. But
Yeah.
it's just with him.
Well, and it's hey.
I love Chubb.
All right, we'll move into the defensive side of the ball. You can. There's another Chubb over there.
Right.
Bradley Chubb.
Woo!
Yeah.
Is that who you're
I
going
believe,
with, Chad?
no, I believe Clayton thinks he's going to be the.
I
No.
did. Man, it was tough to pick defensive rookie of the year. I didn't want, they were the same team, so I didn't want to really go that route because I picked Freeman. But I was like, I just think Chubb is going to come in there and put up decent sack numbers, and that's going to get him votes. Playing that opposite Vaughn outside rush, and I think he's going to put up some sack numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to in the right situation to do exactly that. I think me and Jeff were a little on the same page on this one. We both like Derwin James.
Derwin James has looked phenomenal in the preseason. Like, he's with the first team. Melvin Ingram's been singing his praises. He had that interception in week 3. I mean, he went up, got the ball, knocked over one of his own players to get that interception. The guy's amazing. He's going to be a badass in this year's in football to come.
The Chargers needed secondary help. They went out and got it. I mean, he fills that instant void, and just like he did in college, he's just going to go out there and be a men amongst boys for sure.
Yeah.
So we already kind of talked about coaches. My personal coach of the year, I like Anthony Lynn with San Diego. I think he's going to surprise some people out there in a tough division. If he can go out there, win that division over the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Raiders, I think you should hand him the coach of the year for doing it, because that to me that's the most tight division all around as far as really good teams, no top-sided, low-sided. So he's kind of my sleeper pick this year for that.
That's bold. I think the Chiefs will be mediocre at best.
I think the Chiefs will make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, and I think they're beatable.
According to my thing, they will not make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they will either.
I got Doug Marrone for the Jags. I think he'll win it. I think he'll win Coach of the Year.
It's not a bad pick at all. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job with that.
I would rather
Jacksonville
your
team.
guy win it because, I mean, the Jags are obviously loaded. So, but I'm going to go Doug Marrone.
Well, here's one of my questions about Coach of the Year. I kind of asked you earlier. Let's say Hugh Jackson won 8 games this year. From 0-16 to 8-8, would that be better than somebody that was decent and just, made the play? You know what I mean?
What team does he coach?
The Browns.
I say it one more time.
The
All right,
Browns.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Or-
But if he does it, yes.
Or
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
there's-
going to one better you. How
All right.
about the Browns start 0-2, Hugh Jackson gets fired, and Todd Haley takes over and wins out, and he becomes coach of the
Or
year.
they call
nobody
me and
likes
we'll win
Haley.
the Super Bowl because I'm benching Tyrod and we're starting Baker.
I have
man.
Tyrod on my team.
Fun stuff.
What's next, Chado?
Well, we got to make another announcement. I don't know if you guys caught it at
No.
our last podcast, The Two Mules, which was great, by the way. We're actually joining up with and being part of the Houston Preeminence team. We're pretty excited about it. They're closing in a lot of the podcasts. It's going to be a great deal. They're launching October 1st. The website, that's when the website's on. As we get more details, and listen to our podcast and of course, check out our Facebook. We have more announcements coming out all the time about it. We're really excited about it. There's some great things happening over there. But again, that's Houston Preeminence. It's going to be a leading Houston sports provider, or at least coverage. Also, on top of that, it's Houston sports done by Houstonians at Houston Preeminence. Thank you, guys. Back to you guys, and that was brought to you, of course, by DynastyWise Fantasy Football, which we're also doing some great things as well.
Check us out.
Yeah. Don't forget about us. But we're doing some. We're
better.
moving and shaking, and we got some exciting things happening for us too. Chad, back to you.
Okay, so took care of all the awards, NFL awards.
Right.
Hit some of the top players. Let's look further down the road than week 1, and let's look to the playoffs.
Okay.
We'll stay in the AFC. At DynastyWise, we all picked the Patriots to win their division.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a given.
That's a crappy division.
Yes, no, it really is. It's very, very one-team division.
Right, they're like, they win 12 games a year. I was like, well, shit. It's the Jets, the
Bills and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
No, 100%. So we agree on that.
Right.
The North, we all agree, is going to be the Steelers. And that's throughout DynastyWise. Those were 2 unanimous decisions. The South, it was kind of a 2-team race, the Jaguars and the Texans. Where do y'all fall on that?
I want the Texans, but I'm picking the Jags because they're a more complete team, and they go for the throat. Every time I watch Houston teams, I get upset because they don't go for the throat.
See, that's where I disagree, because I think that's whenever why Watson wasn't down. When he was healthy, he was taking his shots, and that's where it came down between Jacksonville and Houston for me was I think they're both going to have really good defenses, and, they're going to, Jacksonville, they're going to run the ball. There are question marks at receiver, but I give the edge quarterback to Deshaun Watson, and I think that's why they will win the division.
And overall, I give the edge to Deshaun Watson, but when Bortles plays the Texans, he puts up like 350 and like 3 touchdowns.
And like 4 interceptions.
So make sure you start him.
Yeah, I mean, I literally will be starting him versus the Texans on my team. I think he threw for 324, 3 TDs and 1 interceptions in the last game they played against the Texans.
The one thing that
and it looked like it was easy.
The one thing that shied me away is Mark Healy going down. That's a big blow. Now it's a bunch of
DD time.
Unknowns who have a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong, but who's he going to be throwing the ball to? I personally went with the Jaguars over the Texans in the division, but I had the Texans making the playoffs. But and I did that simply based on depth. They have a better O-line. They've got more depth at running back. They've got more depth on defense. They've been there. They were there last year. So with the Texans, with a lot of questions as far as their O-line, a lot of questions on their health on their defense, a couple new guys in the mix, how they're going to play, who they're going to throw the ball to on offense. There's a little more questions with the Texans than the Jaguars for me, and that's why I think the Jaguars have the edge.
Okay. All right.
AFC West. I think this is the one division where everybody picked, at least all 4 of the teams got picked to win this division.
Oh, wow.
A lot of the Chiefs, a lot of Broncos. A couple people picked the Chargers.
I picked Chargers.
One person picked the Raiders. Why the Chargers?
I just think Rivers, he has weapons around him. They got a solid backup running back if Ingram goes down. They've got a solid defense. I think, like you said earlier, Derwin James brings in what they needed to really make that defense complete. Kind of goes what y'all were saying. I think that division's kind of got weak as far as there's just a lot of. I mean, the division's up for grabs.
No, it's not top heavy. It's not 2 good teams and 2 bad teams. Now it's a lot of.
They're very.
You're looking at
even.
8, 9, and 7 teams in that division.
I just think Phillip Rivers is the matriarch quarterback in that division, and it's getting time to where he's going to want to retire. And I just think, like I say, the addition of Derwin James, the defenses that I know Clayton and you were talking about, that's why I went with the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, I debated the LA Chargers now, I guess, as well. But it just seems like they always fall short. Like, we can't believe in them, so that's why I went with Denver. I like Case to come in there and be solid at quarterback, I I'm not looking at him to be the GOAT or anything, but he's going to be all right. They're going to run the
Yeah,
ball.
he's solid.
You know, and they have Sutton and Thomas.
I'm not
I
sold.
like their offense.
I'm not sold. I like Case Keenum. I'm not sold on. He took a good Minnesota Vikings team and led them down the stretch. He's taking an okay Denver Broncos team. It's a little
He's got weapons.
little different
He does
scenario.
have some pretty good weapons in Denver. Emmanuel Sanders, Demarius Thomas, Cortland Sutton. I mean, those are, I think, with Freeman and Booker in the backfield, and I think their defense is actually going to be pretty good, and that's
Running game's not quite as good as Minnesota's was. Tight ends, that instant check of those low checkoff guys
I mean,
aren't what
we
they
don't
were.
know. You can't say it's not quite as good because we don't know.
Well, no, I can because I mean the players who are playing on that
Oh, well.
offense and the guys. I mean, it's the same guys with the addition of Freeman and Sutton. They're rookies. You never know what you're going to get. Minnesota's playing with Thielen and Diggs and Rudolph and Cook, who played well before his injury.
So
and
guys that had career years.
No, not career years. Guys who are building their careers. It's career years because their numbers are steadily growing. It's not an aberration. It's more the norm. So,
I don't
It's
think
your
that-
pick.
thought on the Raiders though.
Yeah.
I
Wild
need,
card.
Wild
what do
card.
what is it about the Raiders that y'all are buying into?
I
Gruden.
Gruden. The
Gruden.
same Gruden who's running off his best player on the team.
He's an offensive guy.
Is he though? I mean,
Yeah,
the first thing he
he's
did
an
in
offensive guy.
Tampa Bay was going and build that defense to win them a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he's an offensive guy. He's not
Yeah.
stupid. He knows.
Yeah, I think it's for me. I like Carr and Cooper.
And you bring
have
over
good years.
Nelson, who still has
Yeah.
some game.
That's what I think that, and that's I think Carr having the bounce back year. That's what
But is their
I-
defense good enough?
I think
For
to
a
make
wild card, yes.
Okay.
They get,
I don't
To
think
me,
there's-
I think their defense is just too porous.
don't
There's no depth. Their D line is very questionable. If they lose Khalil Mack, that's huge blow.
Yeah.
Their secondary, they just cut their third round pick from last year in their secondary. They've got a lot of questions there as far as whether guys are even going to be able
But
to stay
who
healthy
else-
and play all year.
But who else is in the AFC? The Colts with dumb sounding Andrew Luck.
or the Titans.
Oh, I mean,
or,
okay, we got the Jaguars and the Texans. We all like both of them. There's
Right.
one of your wild card spots.
Well, we chose the Texans.
I put Jacksonville in the wild
so
card.
so there's one of your wild card
The
spots.
only other team I could say the Bengals have looked quietly good,
yeah,
like
is-
all around.
Cincinnati's very possible. You never know what you're going to get out of Baltimore or Cleveland. You never know.
I don't think
I know Joe
Baltimore's very
Flacco
good.
You still
Very
have
accurate
the
quarterback.
Chiefs. You still have the Chargers.
Never overthrows any receivers.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco always on point.
Well, yeah, Super Bowl winning Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I think they're better off with RG3 starting.
That's very possible too. Okay, so that's AFC. Let's move to the NFC.
All right.
All right.
Our almost unanimous division, the AFC.
NFC.
I'm sorry, the NFC
West.
West. No, the West was our unanimous. The Ram. We all had
The
the Rams
Rams.
taken and to win the West, and I think quite a few of us had the 49ers to make the playoffs behind them too. I
Yeah.
want to say
I'm
three
not
people
sold.
picked that. I like them
picked
as a wild
Niners for
card.
wild
So
card.
did I.
They suck.
Jimmy
There you have
Garoppolo
it.
says he's better than Tom Brady.
He-
wouldn't be lying or myopic.
He said he said that when he got drafted. They said that he thought he was better than Tom
So
Brady
he
as a rookie.
lacks. So he doesn't lack confidence. And
Yeah.
that's what I want my quarterback. Plus a guy going out with a porn star. Write it down, folks.
But I think we're all sold on the Rams, regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
The East,
Eagles?
Eagles. All but one person picked the Eagles. We
Who
had
picked-
one. We had one
What
scatterbrained Giants pick in there.
Did Steve-O participate
I was
in
about to
this?
say, when did we let Steve-O into Dynasty Life?
No, that was our one and only Brian Hostler.
Oh,
Chris Weidman looking at
no. He's just been hit too many times in the octagon.
CTE's
Well,
real.
since we'll be seeing this team twice here locally in Houston this year, once tonight currently and once in a couple weeks, Cowboys. How do we see them doing?
At best, 7-9.
Oh man, I could see. I think that division's going to be scrappy. They could be battling for set. Yeah, 7-9.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't see them winning.
Who the hell's talking?
I don't. Padu.
Oh,
Padu doesn't see. I don't see.
PP,
Them, I don't want to
Padu.
speak about myself in the third person. I don't see them winning any games in their division.
They'll win a couple at home. I think they can beat. I think they can beat the Giants at home. I think
can
they
beat
can
the
beat the Redskins at home.
Redskins suck, Ben.
I don't think the Redskins suck. I think Redskins are probably the second best team in that division.
Smith, though, personally.
But I think they upgraded some on their defense. I think they've
losing Geist was tough because I thought Juice was loose.
that hurts. Definitely hurts.
They picked up AP.
And looks
he's
good.
mad.
He's like, I'm only making $1 million. Watch this.
But Dallas. So you're saying 7-9. You're saying 7-9.
What are you
as
saying?
it's very clear, my favorite NFL team is whoever's playing the Dallas Cowboys each week. So
0-16?
I'm thinking 5 wins maybe.
All right. I can see that, too.
I like it.
Because I see them splitting with the Redskins. Because when it comes
I see
to
them and the Giants and the Redskins splitting. So that's 2 wins there. And, they play big on Thanksgiving Day. Who never know who. I didn't see who they play this year on Thanksgiving Day.
Probably Detroit.
Yeah, right.
No, they both play each.
Yeah, they
different
normally
teams.
play on Thanksgiving.
So the one last division we have left to cover here is the
we had
South.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have
last
the
two.
North and South.
The South. Let's go to the South.
I got Atlanta. Although the
do I.
Saints can push, but I'm going Atlanta. Even though I hate Corey. But, I like Atlanta. Their defense is good. Ridley coming in is going to be a solid 3, possibly 2 if someone gets injured.
Yeah.
2 awesome running backs.
I went with Atlanta as well, Jeff. I completely agree with Atlanta, and I got the
Me too.
Saints being the wild card.
Me too. I have Atlanta winning and the Saints being a wild card as well. I think that's 2 tough teams in that division. Carolina has been. Some people had Carolina making the playoffs, or one person did.
Yeah, I think they'll battle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That division. I think they're going to be scraping, except for the Bucks. But
Other-
those 3
yeah.
teams are.
So what happens to the Bucks? I mean, how bad are they?
5-6 wins.
Some
at the
looking
most.
good. I thought by now they'd be a little bit better, but Jameis just can't seem to.
He's out for the
idiot.
first 4 games.
Yeah. Then you got Fitzmagic, the Amish rifle. Watch out.
The Harvard grad.
He's good for 2.5 wins maybe.
Hey, that's what 2-2.
Okay, so let's go to the North then.
I got Minnesota. I just think they're the best team.
I'm same.
Did y'all pick Minnesota?
Yeah.
I picked Minnesota. It's clearly on my laptop, folks.
Clearly in my notes.
Yes, we all picked. We the only 3 that picked Minnesota, and all of us agreed on
I
that
did
one.
choose the Packers, though, for wild card.
as- did
But
I.
the Packers overall, we 3 chose Minnesota. Everybody else in DynastyWise chose the Packers.
Well, we 3 are smart and handsome, so
Yes.
I don't care what the others said. Stop rolling your eyes, Joe.
I don't see where handsome has anything to do with this.
Yeah, or else I would definitely already.
Yeah,
be on
that's something
TV.
an ugly person
Well, if
would
you were
say.
on this side, you would understand why handsome
Well,
has a lot to do with it.
I'm so handsome, you have to keep me off of camera.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't want the camera
But
to
if my-
break.
Yeah,
We got
I
a
did
thumbs
got
up.
Green Bay as my wild card though. I think they'll because with Aaron Rodgers, they're in the mix.
Yes.
I don't think
Wild
they
card,
got.
bitches.
I don't think they got the best team though.
I did that for Joe.
Their defense, they need some. What's the running game? But I think you got Aaron Rodgers. That's why they're in the mix for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I picked the Saints and the 49ers. Actually, I didn't have the Packers making the playoffs.
I almost didn't either. So
I think that's going to be on the edge. One of those.
It'll be a good
They're just
battle
going to
for
be.
that,
I think
that wild card.
they're a little bit tougher division, which accounts for possible more losses in the division.
Yeah.
Whereas I like San Francisco and New Orleans. I think they've got a better shot at winning a little bit easier division games.
The Bears could be
and
sneaky.
just having the.
The Bears are not going to be
honorable,
sneaky.
honorable. I think they'll get some division.
We
wins.
have our own Mr. Joe who picked the Bears to make a wild card this year.
Oh.
So
Joe
Joe is high, so
on life. The
look
Bears,
at him.
I
Look
could
at
see-
his eyes. He is high as
He picked the Bears
kite.
as a wild card.
yes,
That's solid though. I
He
could
just
see-
gave a simple yes.
yes,
Nagy is the coach of the year.
yes. Joe did
Oh,
pick Nagy as coach of the year as well.
I see. You've been. Do you owe Henry money or something? What's the bet?
Not at all.
Okay, so
Sources.
let's move on to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl?
Who is our Super Bowl matchup?
Hey, you want me to go?
Yeah,
I like the Rams versus Jags, and you want me to give the winner?
sure.
I go the Rams. Their defense is too tough. I think Aaron Donald will be back by that game. He'll show up for the
That's the
Super
only
Bowl.
one he needs to be there for. If he makes it.
And they'll focus. They can focus on stopping the run with their 2 corners, and they got 2 good safeties, so they can put 8 men in the box all the time and just stop the Jags running. The Jags are going to run the ball. Let's just be, Blake Bortles in good QB. He doesn't have to be this year.
Yeah.
He's going to be like Aikman. He's going to have like 14 TDs this year and go to the Super Bowl, because he's just going to be handing it off like they did Emmitt Smith. But I think the Rams are just overall a well-built team, and their defense will put them over the top. So I go Rams, Jags, Rams win.
Corey's going to like my pick for the Super Bowl matchup.
Nobody cares about Corey.
Probably not the outcome. I got Texans versus Falcons. I think the Falcons are I think they're a complete team. And Matt Ryan is a pretty good quarterback, and I see them winning the NFC and then losing to the Texans.
You're going Texans Super Bowl. Why am I not shocked?
Got it. Well, if DW4 goes down, I don't think Brandon Whedon's going to lead them there.
Oh, I think Brandon Whedon will.
I think they make it to the Super Bowl only if Deshaun Watson goes down.
Oh.
Then we won't need him. Trade him.
Yeah, trade him.
I'm down with that.
I hope the Texans win.
I have Minnesota in the Super Bowl
Minnesota.
playing. Who do I have them playing?
I don't know, Chad.
Good call.
The hell,
Wow,
Chad.
you don't even know.
No.
I agree, Chad.
Well, Minnesota's
All
winning.
that matters is I have Minnesota winning it. No, I take that back. I have Minnesota playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl. That's right.
That's a good pick.
I think Pittsburgh, they're just solid. They've got a lot of experience in the playoffs. They're going to make it there, and they're in a weaker AFC this year. I don't think the Patriots are as strong as they were. I don't think I don't think that the tough defenses really phase them as much. Roethlisberger's, he's as big as a defensive lineman out there. He can take the hits, and he's got the best receiver in the league, one of the
Not
best
only that,
running backs in the
second
league, and their defense is strong too. I just see them a little bit above all the other teams in the AFC right now. And Minnesota, I think Minnesota has the best defense in the league this year, just slightly better than the Rams, and that's why I like them a little better than the Rams to make it to the Super Bowl.
Big Ben, if you're in Dynasty and you have Big Ben and you really want to win, you could take him. Just I'm going to win this year, because I think he's got the best wide receiver core in the whole NFL. Guy you were high on, I think you were high on too, James Washington out of Oklahoma State.
I got him.
He's a freak out there. He's like making a catch with like a bird flying into his helmet, catching it with 2 fingers while a rhinoceros is hitting him.
Yeah.
He catches everything.
That's why he's on my taxi
So that's
squad.
why,
Because-
start him.
Because Pittsburgh does their training camp in Nigeria, or
I don't know.
just trying to figure out where all these animals came from.
Right.
I can't
but-
tell you where they train.
Hands down, the best wide receiving core. Tight end is serviceable. He's kind of a good all-around.
They have a sleeper tight end in Vance McDonald, a local guy out of Rice here. All kinds of praise, and steadily trying to make his case for a starter there.
But
So-
Jesse James does what's asked of him.
Yeah.
And his
He
name's
can
Jesse
make
James.
the catch. He can block, and of course with Le'Veon Bell. But yeah, I wouldn't sleep on the Steelers this year at all.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see them making the Super Bowl. Wake up.
Other picks in Dynasty-wise, a lot of people pick the Packers and Patriots.
We got to.
Yeah,
I
sure.
could see it if it was 2008.
Or 2010 or
I'm just
whatever. Yeah, I
kidding.
mean, it's
I see that.
Patriots, you can never count them out.
Yeah, that's true.
And the
Belichick and
same with the
Brady.
Packers. Packers are going to be right there too. But
I think that was the logic behind it. Is you can't really the Patriots are always going to be in the mix. I mean, it's almost they're going to make the playoffs, and if they make the playoffs, they have a shot at the Super Bowl. And the Packers, if Aaron Rodgers, of course, if he stays healthy, we know what it looks like if he doesn't. But I think that was the logic behind it.
It's like a handy from grandma before bed. Just makes sense.
But yeah, we wanted to make sure we gave a shout out. Yeah,
Who was shouting out to?
actually, we'll give a shout out to Corey. Corey, actually, hey, appreciate.
Boo!
No, Corey gave us a good post out there, man. We appreciate you
I
spreading
love
Dynasty
Matt
Wise.
Ryan.
It's a good word right now.
Matt Ryan's my favorite player.
Hey, that's all right, man.
I got to pick on Corey.
It's fair. And we also got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Infinity NDT, leading inspector in the Houston area. They provide inspection services to drill tools, drill pipe, MWD tools, rig inspection, as well as top drives. They're a leading inspection company in Houston. The important thing to remember, too, is they are inspection without limits. That's Infinity NDT.
No limit.
We also have to give out a shout out to our other sponsor, Joe Magursky's Car Insurance and Fish and Chips. when you want fish and chips and car insurance, go down to Joe's.
Thank you, Joe. And of course, I'm
Who's
sure
Joe?
y'all caught it
That's
before.
sponsored.
If y'all didn't catch it before, we're actually joining up with the Houston Preeminence team. We're excited about it. Good things going on over there. It's Houston sports done by Houstonians because no one cares about Houston sports more than Houstonians.
Damn right. When
Nailed
you want fish and nothing says fish and chips like car insurance.
Bam. Back
All
to
right.
you, Chad.
So, got all that out of the way. Going to kind of take a little bit of a spin here. Last thing we were going to talk about was top fantasy scores for each of the positions.
I love it.
I want to know who y'all feel are those guys, but I also want to kind of get a feel for who are the top busts at each position. Like who are the guys that, as people are going into their drafts and whatnot, like this guy may look good on paper, but I really, really don't trust him or would avoid him, or I just don't want anything to do with him. So we'll start off with the quarterbacks. Let's. Who do you think your top quarterback is going to be in fantasy, and then who do you think that that guy you just should avoid is? Jeff.
Well, you didn't say choose bus, so I'm not prepared now. But I think it's pretty obvious to me. I'm a fan of his, but I think Aaron Rodgers will put up the most points fantasy-wise. I think someone who might slide down this year, I don't know if Pat won't like it, but I think he'll still be good. But I think, what's his name in Seattle?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. I don't think he'll be bad, but I think he'll slide down this year.
I hope not, because I have Doug Baldwin, and I'm really looking
That's
forward
why
to
I
him.
traded him to you.
I bet it is.
But you can have a receiver go off and the quarterback does okay.
So Fall, like, are you taking him as a top 5 quarterback still?
No. I just don't think he's going to be number one like it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a if you want a quarterback really filling,
Josh Allen, avoid.
Well, he can't really fall though because
Yeah.
he's never been up
that's,
there.
That's tough. I don't see Jared Goff putting up a lot of numbers. I'm not sure who's going to be really awesome and fall, but I still think Russell Wilson's a solid QB.
So you say your advice is
Wilson's going to
he's
fall.
good, but he's
Don't
not,
take Wilson high.
avoid taking him too high.
Yeah, if you take him, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Jared Goff's going to be that great this year. I think he'll be serviceable.
And I've got him as my backup on my team, and
Right.
I'm okay with that for right now because I think he'll put up numbers, but I still want to see it another year as well.
Yeah.
I'm not one to jump too quick on young quarterbacks back and say, hey, they're the next great thing. I need to see it for a little bit.
Alex Smith could be a guy to fall, even though I think
I think Alex Smith is a very good candidate to fall.
Yeah.
He's not going to match.
Anyway,
what
let
he
me
did
stop
last year.
talking. We'll go to Clayton.
Yeah, Clay. Well, I think we already know who your top quarterback is for the
Aaron
year.
Rodgers.
Well, yeah. I picked him for MVP, so obviously it's Watson. I already spoke on. I think he's just going to light it up. And
Who's your quarterback to avoid?
avoid. He's been available in a couple drafts I've been in, and I just for some reason is Garoppolo. I mean, and I like Kittle as well, but I don't think he has enough weapons, I guess, for me. So I'm just where he's
But
going.
he came from a system where that in New England that they don't have weapons and
he
they
does
succeed
have
at quarterback.
he does have Shanahan, which is a plus.
He's got Jerry
But
Rice.
I think where he's going,
no,
I'm passing.
Hey,
Okay.
understandable. My top quarterback this year, guy I picked for MVP. He's my number one quarterback on my fantasy team, Kirk Cousins. I think the guy got all kinds of upgrades at his skill
Yes.
positions to put up bigger numbers, and he's already a top 5 guy.
Yes.
I just see
You
him
like that?
See him overtaking that.
You're like that.
My QB to avoid would probably be Cam Newton. I think they are going to rely more on McCaffrey this year in the backfield. It's going to be shorter pass games, and that's a porous defense. He may have some health concerns this year. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I want to see him stay on the field 16 games.
I like how he dismissed that guy when he came up to
Wait,
Devin Funches, and the other guy tossed. He just goes,
Yeah, whatever.
So
I'm
anybody
talking
want
here.
Cam Newton?
No.
He's available.
I got Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's going to be great.
Garoppolo sucks.
Guess who just
So
hit
we
my
all-
trading block?
So we all just said one another's backup quarterbacks, basically. Because
Pretty
I have
much.
Jared Goff. And
Yeah.
All right.
I got Newton.
nice. All right, well, let's move on to the running backs. I think we've all kind of hit the top scoring running backs with Bell and Gurley and everything.
I went David Johnson.
David Johnson.
And I'm doing that because I'm thinking PPR and just that receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to have to rely on him more with a quarterback who's already
Sam Bradford.
probably got injured, and then bringing in Rosen. So I think he's a solid guy to rely on. Clayton?
Well, first off, wouldn't that contradict your? If he was the leading running back, then wouldn't he get your vote for offensive player over the year?
No, because that's just
No.
overall.
Yeah.
That's overall.
I'm just saying.
But for fantasy, I think you'll put up most
No.
points. I don't think the Cardinals are going to win.
Yeah, they're not, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Exactly. Whenever you get owned, you try to turn off somebody's mic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
It
got
works.
you. Yeah, I went with Bell. I think Johnson. That team's not very good. And he is the team. And yeah, they got Fitz. I like Christian Kirk and Rosen. They're just young, and I don't think Johnson's gonna perform like people think.
So who are y'all's players to avoid then at running back? The guys that you're seeing towards the top that just don't belong there.
That
David
bleep
Johnson.
face, David Johnson. Just don't draft Marshawn Lynch. He's about this high above the special line. Looks stupid, is stupid. I don't care if he's going to eat Skittles. Just shut
He's
up,
gonna show up and
retire.
beat
Nobody
your ass.
cares. Stand for
gotta
the
go.
pledge, you idiot. Just get out of the NFL already, you moron. And I hope he gets fined.
I just hope he doesn't show up here to. Well, you know what? I hope he does show up here to beat your ass.
Well, one, he won't. Two, then all this will be in a real thing because I can sue him and it'll all go to DynastyWise.
Well, away from being sued, Clay, you're
those-
overrated, overvalued.
I'm just going to throw Skittles on the floor and he'll go
David
chase
Johnson.
him.
I've been saying it for years.
And you've been wrong for years.
He had 1 year.
He's had 7.
Yeah. Go look it up. Yeah. But yeah, Johnson, I'm not taking him at 1-1, 1-3, 1-5. I just.
Where would you take him? 'Cause
9-8.
He's going typically ADP, which
Yeah.
I know we all think, but either way, he's typically going top 5.
He is. No, he is. To me, that's just, I don't think he's going to put up those numbers. So man.
You're okay with letting him go and not even.
Yeah.
just
Like,
letting
I
him
just
slide.
wouldn't even want him
That's
on
a
my
good
team.
take, though. I mean, that's a
I'll
bold
take him.
prediction.
Bold
take him.
prediction.
My guy to kind of watch out for.
Well, who's your running back?
My top running back?
Yeah, who's your top?
Gurley.
Gurley? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Who's your other guy?
Gurley, but I mean, I think Bell and Elliott are right there behind him. I mean, I don't think it's that far off.
Chad, you have to choose one. This
I
is your
did
ideal.
choose
No, I'm just
one,
kidding.
man. Come on, man.
Yeah, who's your fall guy?
My fall guy is going to be, and this is tough for me.
Oh, not the
But-
dude, kiss and tell.
Derrick Henry, I think, is my overrated guy who just
I could see
he's
it.
being drafted way too high. And I kind of responded on a back and forth on Twitter about this. If Derrick Henry was that man and they just booted out DeMarco Murray, let him go in free agency, he's done now, and you're about to take over and be that guy, and then all of a sudden, wow, we signed Deion Lewis, who just had his best year and who works a lot better out of the passing game and adds these other dynamics. Now he's playing the same role as he was last year, and I just think he hasn't shown to me that he's going to take that role yet. So I think people are going off his potential, but I'm not sure that potential is going to be able to come out yet.
Okay.
So
That's Titans for you. Stupid. Stupid fans,
You
ugly
know who
fans.
else is overrated over there?
Who?
Marcus Mariota.
yes, I agree.
Have you seen Titans fans? God
Shout-
awful.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Cameron, by the way.
Cam was here.
Moving on.
So, wide receivers, I think most of everybody, it's got Antonio Brown or DeAndre Hopkins.
I got D-Hop.
I'm a Brown guy, but only just because it's hard for me not to pick Brown until somebody else takes over that, and nobody's doing it yet. We'll see if D-Hop can. Odell's possible. You still got Julio out there. I think we've all got the upper guys. Let's move to kind of the overvalued guy,
Then why did you ask about?
because we all.
What? You didn't finish that sentence.
If everybody agrees, it's not as fun. So I mean, I'm trying to go on some things.
I think Odell's overrated. I think as
He
long
just got paid, and now he's whining about being paid.
Shut
up.
I think as long as Eli's your quarterback,
Freaking-
which they've done it together, they've hooked up and all that in the past. But to me,
I
that's
bet they hooked up.
I feel it's
Go
more
watch
of a,
some Mel strippers.
I think he's overrated. I'm not saying he's not going to the first round, but
Yeah.
he's one of my ones I think is going to fall even with a full year.
I used to not be as high on Odell, and then I started looking at. We all know his amazing plays and this and that, but
Yeah.
then you start looking at the numbers, and
Yeah,
they're
that's
pretty damn solid.
They are.
It's hard to go against the guy when he's healthy. So I mean, if he's going to be out there, I personally don't. I'm not a fan of his, but the guy's good. I mean, that's all there is to
He's
it.
okay.
I put an article on DynastyWise.com about it, and that's exactly what I said. The numbers don't lie, and I can't argue. I mean, I'm kind of contradicting the article.
But the eyes don't lie either, because when you look, it's there also. So.
I feel like he's too easy to get rattled, and the cornerbacks get under his skin too easy.
That's the one downfall on the guy.
And that doesn't happen. D-Hop's got the strongest mental game at wide receiver. When he douched what's his name, he's like, he just stood over and goes, I'm already breaking ankles out here after he got into a fight with him. But I'm going to go with a bold prediction here. Julio Jones will
bold prediction.
Julio Jones will fall. I don't think he got a full
Shut your
time.
whore mouth.
He's going to get injured, and he's not happy. So I'm going to say he takes a drop this year. Still be probably solid, but I think he's going to drop tremendously.
I hope not. I just acquired him this offseason.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's why I didn't try.
The one guy for me, and Clay, you're on Twitter quite a bit, and so is Joe, and it's this guy gets so much love, and I just do not, for the life of me,
Can I
understand
guess?
it. Yes.
Devontae Adams.
No, not Devontae.
I agree with you there. What has he done?
Devontae Adams is a touchdown machine, but who?
Miami?
Yes, Mr. Hammy Watkins. This guy, I don't
I've
understand
never,
the fans.
I've never understood why he keeps getting paid. He's hurt. He drops passes. He's eating popcorn on the sidelines. He's trying to bat third for some reason. I was like, why are you in the baseball game, you idiot?
Yeah, it just he's been he's been above average. I say mediocre. He's not mediocre.
He's been okay.
But he's been okay.
No,
So what?
no, he's been below average.
I think for where he was drafted,
He's
He was
then it's
way below
extremely
average.
below average.
yes, but I don't get it. So to me,
A
avoid
general
Sammy
manager
Watkins.
should eat a bullet for drafting him.
Yes, the only guy who draws
Jump
as much,
out a window, dude.
the only guy that draws as much hate as him is probably Brandon Cooks.
Is the freaking general
See,
manager
no,
who drafted him.
I've been defending Cooks because Cooks, with his numbers don't lie. You're looking at 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, no,
You
and
know,
I'm
6
all
to 8
for
to-
Cooks.
But yeah,
He's another guy that gets that love hate on Twitter.
Yeah, he
It's-
gets it. I
him and
think
Watkins,
they're like,
but-
oh, well,
Sammy, what? Him?
I think
we drafted him.
Cooks will be the better fantasy. He's the receiver to have over there.
If I had to
Why would
take
you
one or
draft
the other
Sammy
right now,
Watkins,
I would take
people?
Cooks.
Yeah, I would as well.
So
Well, everyone would.
Okay.
I take me at wide receiver over
Um,
Sammy Watkins. I'm 240 and run like a. I don't even run the 40. I have to lay down at the 30-yard line.
tight ends,
Kelsey.
Kelsey, Gronk.
I think Kelsey's going to be the safeguard for a rookie quarterback. I see Ertz. I see Gronk, of course.
Yeah.
I just think Kelsey's going to be the safeguard for a rookie quarterback
Yeah,
who looks like what's his name's daughter.
Does Gronk play 16 games?
No,
He did last year.
he won't this year. Then
Actually, no, he was suspended one game. But so was Kelsey
yeah.
for the
sure.
same crap.
Is Kelsey gonna play 16 games?
Does Godare eat into Ertz's touches?
That's
Maybe.
what scares me about Ertz, and I have Ertz, but
that Ertz.
I think it's a plan for him getting injured. I think they're just gonna run 2 tight ends, and
See, my sleeper pick at tight end coming out in the draft last year was Ingram. I drafted him.
Who?
Loved it. Ingram.
Oh,
I think he takes that next step and being with Odell and Shepard drawing most of the coverage. I think
But-
he's going to be open all day long, and he's going to be that target for Manning.
what about
and he's
Barkley
gonna put some
taking up some
touchdowns
of
in
the?
there.
Barkley's an excellent receiver. Do you think that one?
I don't
hurt
think he
Ingram?
takes away from
Soft
Ingram's
tissue.
touches.
I'm sorry. Soft tissue, folks. You heard it here.
I don't think he really hurts Ingram as much.
Fantasy what?
Fantasy team name, this Ertz.
or
Ertz, perfect.
it hurts when I flirt. It hurts when I flirt.
I
Bust that tight end.
All right,
Or
first-
overvalued, or however you want to look at it.
Overvalued. See, a guy I think overvalued, I think, is O.J. Howard. I think everybody's trying to take him. Whether if we're getting Cameron Brate,
Still
a
the number one guy there. And he's a top 10 number
tight
one
end.
guy at that.
And he just got his extension. I mean, you don't pay him. And Winston actually likes, his connection with Brate is better than Howard.
Yeah.
So, I think Howard's value. Everybody's drafting Howard, and then you'll see Brate go undrafted or way later. And I'm like, give me Brate. I actually have him.
Sure.
In our league, I have him. I have him and Ertz and Kittle. I got 3 tight ends.
I'll say Ertz just because of Goddard. Or Goddard, excuse me.
So avoid Ertz.
I want to avoid him. He's a stud. And, I had him
Just
on.
avoid him in top 3.
Yeah, because I think Goddard is going to hurt his thing.
I was going to say it's kind of tamp your expectations of Ertz.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously could be a number one. I had him on my team a long time ago, and he was doing great. And then they switched the offense where he was blocking more. And now it's back to letting him go, and Clayton has him, and he performs awesome on Clayton's
I got
team.
him off the waiver wire, baby.
So, yeah, because I cut I cut these guys that get picked up. But Goddard's going to cut into his
No, I
his
totally
time.
agree. I totally agree. Mine, I think Burton in Chicago is the guy. Everybody's like Burton.
They really
because
are.
he had a good, solid postseason last year. Look, back off just a little bit. You remember a guy that used to play for the Browns, went to Miami, Jordan Cameron?
Yeah.
Same thing. Looked great late season with Cleveland. 1 year for 5-6 games. Goes to Miami.
Hey.
Supposed to be the guy, and just
When he went off in
never heard of
Cleveland,
him.
that's when I won the championship in our league.
That's because you have Peyton Manning in his prime
I
throwing
ran
95 touchdowns.
I ran 2 tight ends.
another guy.
96.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing as Austin Seferian Jenkins. After
I've
that
never
first
been a
little
believer.
snippet of a season he had,
Yeah,
you
but
know, and then next thing you know, he
That
disappears.
hurts.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually, first off, this night's been really weird because I've agreed with you way too much.
I know, right?
That is
I know
odd.
This is.
I was about to just get out of the way and let them argue like they normally do.
I think it's because I've had to restrain myself on any Deshaun Watson and Texans talks he's been having. I've just been biting my tongue. So
Well, I mean, when you're wrong, you're wrong. But anyway,
And here we go.
but if you go back,
Defensive line.
go back to Burton. You have people want to draft him so high, even when reports are coming out how Biscuits is hooking up with Shaheen this. And I'm like, well, y'all go ahead and take Burton. I'm going to get my dude later, and I actually think Shaheen's talented. But I think across the league, you need a lot of people want the 2 talented tight ends.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going with it. And I don't believe in Jenkins either. He
yeah,
hasn't done anything. Like, these people go crazy. All right. I'm just going to all right. The craziest.
Here we go,
the
baby.
There we
craziest-
go.
People, these few little games, people get all this hype, blah, blah, blah. Or the rookie fever this offseason was so insane. Like, I'm doing these drafts, and I'm watching these rookies fly off the board, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I'm still going to take this guy way later, and I'm getting, I'm going for value, and this is Dynasty. I'm like, I'm still going to, I can compete now. I'm still young. It's just, to me, it's insane how players get this hype.
We see that a lot in Dynasty. A lot of Dynasty leagues, especially startups, they put that value on those rookies early on.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand what they're going for, and I understand the strategy. But the problem there is it's like, yeah, man, I'm playing to win the future. It's like, well, how about playing to win now?
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Like,
can.
look at my
Yeah,
team.
thank
I'm
you.
set up for both.
Man, if you don't quit blowing yourself, man.
No, it's okay. Let him do it. This prediction show, because when we look back at this at the end of the year
We'll
and
see
see
how
how
wrong.
totally wrong he was, not only with his fantasy team but his picks.
Everything.
We're gonna put up a dry erase board right up there, and we're gonna make a note of all these. And as these people,
Sweet.
as they start marking them off, that'd be great.
And okay, well, let's put some wagers on it. Whoever got the most right or whatever. If you're so confident.
All right, we'll come up with something.
All right.
We'll come up with something off the air, and we'll announce
Level
it.
5. Death. No.
You got to plug it.
Someone else has got to get shot with a paintball. Or a paintball gun
no.
at close range.
No.
Jeff just volunteered because he said no first.
All right,
Yep.
Jeff gets shot if he
Sorry.
gets the most.
Sorry,
Or
Chad.
least prediction.
Rolling on, sir.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
my rant's over.
All right. We won't hit up every defensive position. Let's just. Who's the first defensive guy you're taking in a fantasy draft? An IDP. Who's the one guy?
Are we
where it's
talking
like,
Dynasty
I may overreach and take this guy.
Are you talking Dynasty or what type of draft?
I don't.
Both.
Yeah, all right. Honestly, I think C.J. Mosley's coming off the board. He was your top performer last year at linebacker, and I don't think the Ravens are going to be very good. And he's going to be on the field a lot, and I mean Mosley. He's probably my top linebacker who I would take first.
I can see a lot of people taking Luke.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's got the name, he's got the thing.
Concussion.
Age is almost there, but that is a worry.
No, it's not
Concussions.
actually. Luke Kuechly is like 26 years old.
Yeah, he's still pretty young. I think
Yeah.
28
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah.
No,
CTE
he's the same age as all the
excuse
other
me,
prime linebackers
Excuse
right
me,
now.
CTE ages you. And how many concussions he had?
I don't know. All I know is he's the same age
All
as
I know is this
Bobby
year-
Wagner and the same age as C.J. Mosley.
This year,
and
Clowney, it's a contract year. He's going to put up, he'll finally get double-digit sacks because it's a contract year, and he wants to test free agency. Take Clowney, first pick of the draft.
I'm gonna
Bold prediction.
I'm gonna go
27.
I'm gonna go the complete opposite of that. Clowney is all gonna be dependent on where Houston lines him up on the field. If
No.
they line him up with his hand down on the defensive end, yes,
They
he
play
can
him
do
at
it.
linebacker.
If he plays outside linebacker, he's gonna be the horrible Clowney we had the first 2 years.
But he,
My question is why does he produce so much more when J.J. Watt's not in the game?
Because they play him on the line when J.J. Watt's not
Okay,
playing. When Watt's on the team, he's playing
Won't
at
matter.
linebacker.
Standing up, hand
He
in the
plays
grass,
both. He's a
double-digit
lot of-
sacks
he's
this
outside
year,
linebacker.
contract year. He's going to all of a sudden look awesome. He had one play in college, and knocked that dude's helmet off, and everybody took a
Clowney
dump
looks
in their
awesome all the
pants.
time.
I was just
Put
curious
the,
on it.
put the film on.
Clowney looks like a Jamaican guy that
Put
you
the
could buy
film.
something from.
That might be true, but he can ball. Put the film on.
I do.
No, you
Sucks.
don't. No, you don't.
We
Okay,
will
so
soon.
me personally, it's Bobby Wagner. Only because Seattle, I think, is going to have a rough year on defense, and he's going to be the guy just all over the place. They lost a lot of their players.
I think Shaquem Griffin.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
he
not
has
going to
played
affect,
really
but that's
well.
not going to affect Bobby Wagner's play.
You know a guy who's played well, and he's the guy that goes undrafted, and Joe and I agreed on him as Deion Jones in Atlanta. He is so fast at linebacker. He's a solid player. He can really have a big year this year.
Why would he go undrafted?
Yeah,
Why would
I
he
don't,
go
I don't know
undra-
about him going undrafted.
Well, I didn't say he
but-
goes undrafted.
You just
he
said
just falls.
he goes undrafted.
He falls further.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
to me, because he's younger than all these other linebackers who
But I
are
think
only
he's the
4 or
guy.
5 years in the league and who are consistently the top guys in the league.
I think he
last
he's
year
set
he
up
was
for
he
an
was
awesome
in the
year.
top. He was one of the top linebackers going last
Yeah.
year in draft.
He was number 4 in our league.
I think one of the underrated
He's
linebackers
underrated.
is Levante David. When you look at his
No.
last 4 years, no. Levante David is actually the highest point per game scoring linebacker in the league the last
No,
4 years, I
he's
think.
been on my team the last 4 years, and no, he has not.
Yeah,
You haven't
the
had
numbers
him
don't
before.
lie, dude.
I
just gave him up
guarantee
a
you
couple
he has
years
not
ago.
been. Yeah,
Yeah, he has.
He
Last
has
year was
not
his first
been-
off year, but he had some health issues.
No,
Before
he
that,
had the off year before. That's why I let him go. He has not been.
I can prove
the
you
top.
wrong on that.
Well, Chad, you could prove everyone wrong, and even if I proved you go, well, that's not what I was saying.
No,
'Cause
I'm
wanna
telling
make
you
that
right
your role.
now. As far as fantasy point scoring, the last 3 to 4 years,
Look
Levante
it up.
David has been one of the
Look it
highest,
up.
if not the
When I
highest.
had him,
He
I
is
have,
not the
I
highest.
have looked it up. That's what I'm trying to tell
When
you.
I had him, he was good.
He was good, but then the last 3 years he hadn't been great.
Well, sucks for you.
He was 14. He was number 14 one year on my team.
You want to know something cool about linebackers in our league? So Jeff had Justin Houston one time, dropped
Yep.
him. I picked him up, got 31 points. I've held on to him, and now I just traded him back to Jeff.
And now I got him back.
Jai. There's
Ajayi.
a list of players.
Speaking of running backs, you want to avoid.
Ajayi.
Dante Foreman,
Okay, so quickly, defensive guys you would avoid. I'm doing a little research on that.
Levante
Levante
David.
just so you know.
Defensive players I'm going to avoid. Number one.
Dead air.
Number one cornerbacks. Unless they're returners, they get return yards. Like, because everybody's, ooh, Pat Peterson. Yeah. They don't throw him the ball much. He gets
I
you
don't-
like 2 points.
I don't think the young guy, Denzel Ward, Cleveland's going to be that great. He got burned by an undrafted receiver bad.
It happens. You never got beat on your job by anything?
Nope.
Ever?
Nope.
You never fucked up a book delivery?
Nope.
Doubt
If I
it.
did, I didn't get fired. I got fired because I didn't show up to work.
Well, there you
Mine,
go.
I guess mine's going to be kind of a toss-up. One's Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
I think he's a good clubhouse presence for that defense, a young defense. Like he's a guy who's going to help them in that manner as maybe like a, fire
He's
him
not even
up,
on my
older
list.
Ray Lewis. But second, the Texans secondary, I have a lot of problems with this. Kareem Jackson at safety,
He got an interception, bro.
Jonathan Joseph still playing.
Yeah, but those, as far as fantasy goes, those are the guys that.
But
yeah,
that's-
they
that's
get
just the
beat, but
thing,
they still
but they're-
get like a tip pass and a tackle.
Well,
oh, he caught another one.
Kareem
but there's
Jackson,
another
Kareem
tackle.
Jackson going to safety is only going to hurt him in fantasy.
I think he's gonna have I think
He can't.
They're
do
gonna play
worse
all
than
over.
quarterback.
because I think they're set at safety. But I think here's what helps your secondary. I know we're getting off topic, but
Chad
a
is
good
wrong,
pass
but he
rush.
never admits he's wrong. That is all.
that's true.
I'm
Steve.
often wrong, just never with these guys.
You are often wrong.
You very much. So.
Oftentimes with us.
Remember your Andy Moss thing? He never took plays off.
I never said he didn't take plays off. I said
Yes,
he's
you
a
did.
Hall of Famer even if he
Pat.
did.
Pat.
Never said that.
You did say you take plays off.
And then you looked it up, Pat. He says, "Yeah, I take plays off."
Then we looked at a YouTube video of highlights of him taking plays off.
Y'all are just straight up idiots.
We didn't say Randy Moss don't take plays off.
We'll look it up on a. I don't think we have that pod recorded.
No.
Did we look up? I saw you.
I was looking up. We don't have access to it right now.
You suck.
Access
But
to what?
I'm
What?
telling you right now.
DynastyWise.com.
I've got the data.
Where is it?
All right.
It might be in my.
Actually,
it
you
might
know-
be in my laptop
You have
bag.
7
actually,
seconds to prove it. Go.
it might be in my laptop
No,
bag
here,
actually.
hold
But
on, let me look it up.
Pull him up.
I'll look it. I'll go to our
David
I'll go to our
Lewis.
database.
All right. Levante David.
You'll keep talking.
I just got rid of him recently. He was productive before that.
He was productive
He
for
was
you. He came to my
top.
team. He wasn't
Yeah, you
great.
know why? Because you don't know how to coach, apparently. You're not a good team runner. Your GM skills
How
suck.
many
You
championships have you won?
don't- More than you.
How many? How
Two.
many have you won? No, you've only won one.
How many have you won?
One.
All right.
I don't care how many either one of y'all won.
You
because
won
that's
zero.
How many I'm
Yeah.
going to
You
win?
don't have a seat at
Oh!
the table.
Wait. You guys are just talking about our league, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say collectively, I think we've won hundreds, but
Yeah.
dynasty-wise.
I let them.
We-
Oh, yeah.
only
I
one
won
of
a
us can
lot.
win each year.
If Brian shows up and says something, I'm gonna listen to him. He's 2-time champ.
Yeah, he is
He
back to back
cheats.
right now.
That makes me so
He
mad.
cheats.
He does cheat.
Brian, you cheating bastard.
And he won't trade me Hopkins or Odell. Ooh, he might trade me Odell.
Are you still gonna work on Roland to get?
Okay.
What? Oh, you
Rollins
guys
a
trailing off.
fag.
I know we are trying because we're all just.
Last thoughts, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Get
Last-
off your phones.
Last thoughts. Don't be afraid to take Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees early in a draft. If you're good, you win mid rounds. So I personally won taking a quarterback early in this group, and this is a great group to play against. I've won past leagues by taking the quarterback in the first round. So don't be afraid to take a quarterback in the first round or second.
I
You know,
disagree.
obviously they're running backs
Okay,
out
that's
there.
his last
but-
thought. Let him have it.
Yes, thank you.
What's yours?
Thank you.
Don't take a quarterback in the first or second round.
You-
You get them in the mid to late, like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You get the same production. You got to get your studs at certain positions early. But either way, draft how you draft. My final point is follow DynastyWise at DynastyWise_FF for all your fantasy football needs.
Last thing I want to add, my final thought here is for everybody out there who still plays team defense,
Boo.
get with it.
Grow up already.
IDP. You watch teams play football. There's an offense and a defense playing. Pay attention to both sides of the ball. IDP is the way to go in fantasy football. If you're not doing it, we can give you all the advice you need on drafting. I know that's where most of the questions come up, but it just adds more reality to this game for y'all. So it's something y'all need to take into consideration if you haven't.
Just a couple of quick notes. I wanted to add the fact that we did it. Luke Kuechly is 27 years old.
Right?
Side note. And Levante David overall is ranked number 5 in linebackers.
Number 5.
For
Number
this year.
5. For a period overall.
Period. So he wasn't.
According
Did
to
you
our.
look up, but did you look up?
Oh,
look
my
up the
God.
thing?
He's rogue and he won't admit it.
No, I mean he's
Jeff,
still number 5.
Calm down, dude.
He's still number 5.
Admit it. You
No,
were
I'm
wrong.
Saying, I'm saying number 5 over all active linebackers.
For this year.
No,
then
dude,
he's
this
not
is-
one.
No, this is overall careers, their averages,
So
basically
he's-
our algorithm. we
Who's
put
the top
together.
4?
We've got Telvin
He
Smith,
won't admit that he's wrong.
Telvin Smith, Bobby Wagner, Deion Jones, C.J. Mosley, and then Levante David.
There you go. Number 5.
And
not
what are
one.
we going off of here? Our what?
This is our algorithm.
So
Not one.
our algorithm, not
Yeah.
off of fantasies.
So you're not-
like I was telling you. If you actually
Okay,
listen to
and
my
there
question,
it is. Will not admit that he's
Because
wrong.
I'm not wrong.
And there it is, folks.
I mean, I don't even know what
Randy Moss does not take off plays.
Pat gave a totally different number than what we were actually talking about. So I don't know. how
Well,
that proves me
technically,
wrong.
Case Keenum's the greatest quarterback ever because I looked on my own personal stats not the overall stats.
I will give you
Chad.
the stats. I will have
So-
the stats posted on DynastyWiseGuys.
So I don't care. I don't care. You're wrong.
I know.
I win. Randy Moss
I don't-
takes plays off.
Hold on, I don't know what the question
I
was,
told
though.
you
Yeah, Jeff doesn't either.
he says Devontae Davis the best overall producing linebacker.
He of the last 3 to 4 years, he has been. Period.
No.
The numbers.
He's
prove
been
it.
on my team.
I don't.
know.
Then you don't pay attention to your team because the numbers.
How
prove
many
It.
did you win last year? Did you win the year
I did,
before?
it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
We're
it
talking
does.
about one player.
But when you say I don't pay
One
attention
player.
to my team,
well,
I've won.
because I've looked up the numbers.
I've won.
You didn't win last year or the year before.
I won.
Not last year or the year before.
I won before the watch video.
You just said the last year, year before.
Well, neither
Your
of you.
words,
What'd you
not
place?
mine.
4-12. What was your record?
Not my. Hey,
What was your
your
record?
words, not
no.
mine.
What was your record?
I
4
took
and 12.
over. I took over a team 2 years ago. This is
So
not even my team.
So, but Chad, you took over the team and said, "I'm the greatest ever. I'm going to beat everybody."
Never said that.
Please back me up on that. Does Chad not say he's the greatest ever?
Thank you
Never
for
said
coming into DynastyWise.com.
It'll just take me 1 year, and I'll be beating all of you. I'm the greatest. Conor McGregor.